I just finished up at the doctor's office, headed to the gym now. Actually just left the gym a little while ago because Ashley was there doing CrossFit, 23 weeks pregnant, which was amazing to watch. So that really gives me no excuse to not just go in and knock out 16.5. Kind of looking forward to it. It'll be a little ceremonial. It'll be the end of the open for me. It'll be kind of the beginning of a new chapter. Time to start training for the next thing, which is going to be all things going as they should. I'll be at Lightweight Nationals in June, but I'm not going to jinx it by saying it's for sure. I still got to earn my way there, and then hopefully on to Lightweight Worlds after that. Big fun year coming, but got this thing in front of me right now. Lots of thrusters, lots of burpees. Okay, mail time again. This time I promise it'll be more interesting than light bulbs. Got a package from Slingshot. You know it's gonna be good. Oooh Daddy. Strong sleeves. Real deal. Pair of regular Slingshot knee sleeves. Awesome. And got a pair of camo mini gangster wraps there. Nice. I'm actually going to use these for throwing too because I don't like using the full length wrist wraps that I have now for throwing. It's just a lot of material. These are going to be absolutely perfect. I want to give a big thanks to Slingshot, especially Silent Mike. He hooked this up, got me all this stuff. He and Matt overheard me complaining about knee sleeves, and they just jumped into action like a couple of knee sleeve superheroes. So, Silent Mike, thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm going to make you proud in these, I promise. So here's the thing that I dig about everything I've ever gotten from Slingshot, is that the second you get it, you have it in the package, you feel that they use materials that are actually good. Like I've ordered equipment from a ton of different places, not gonna name names, something like that, where, I mean, the second you start feeling it, you realize that they skimped on materials or that it's not gonna hold up, the stitching's not gonna be as solid. And it's not the case with slingshot gear. Now, I'm especially interested in the strong sleeves. I've been using the old, like Matt talked about in one of his videos, you want to go dig for it. I actually use the old Elite FTS sleeves, and they just kind of loosened out over time. They're tight around my calf and my quad, but really around the bend of the knee, they don't offer the support anymore. So they just kind of gotten too loose over time. So I'm really interested to see these, and I can tell, I mean, again, right away, man, this is solid quality. This is built with good material. You know, this isn't just because these are my friends, these are people that we know. This is like when you open it up, you can tell quality, you can see it. I mean, just the stitching alone, the amount of work and thought that went into stitching that to create support in that knee, that's huge. And I mean, look, this comes from a place of experience because of HVIII Brand Goods being in the apparel industry, and now that we're working so hard on the Max Mobility sleeve, and we've got that in production and what it took to get that thing to market, to make it work, to make it quality, you start to recognize what quality is. And you can tell companies that, you know, take shortcuts to try to get a product to market and ones that don't. No shortcuts here. So really looking forward to trying these out. It's gonna be awesome stuff.
The bench. There was a bench there.
Kendall, that looks like a pretty serious injury. What happened? Was it during a workout? It must have been a pretty intense workout.
Yeah, I was wadding real hard.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was trying everybody's names on the board.
Yeah.
And my biceps just got real tired. And so when I stood back, tripped and fell and I broke my butt.
And your fast twitch didn't save you? No fast twitch this time?
No fast twitches because I was so tired from all that wadding. All that name right. Do you see? That's a lot of names.
That's a lot of
forearms.
That's a lot of wrist fatigue.
Wrist.
And I'm like,
So what does it mean in terms of my training? What am I going to do different now that the CrossFit Open is over and my emphasis is shifting back to throwing? Well, for one thing, it means I got to get a barbell in my hand again a lot more often. You know, the one thing I could tell after the 12-week period that really surrounded getting ready for the Open, competing in the Open, and having surgery in between, was that I really got deconditioned on the barbell. These last couple of workouts, especially deadlifting, I can just tell I'm out of barbell shape, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna jump back into doing a little more high volume, just to kind of get the groove back, to kind of feel the weight again, to feel what it feels like to pull, to work on stability, you know, all those things, the bracing things that I need to do to be able to move decent weight. And then after that, I'll probably move into some strength and some speed and power. And I'll probably reduce my volume of CrossFit Metcon work. I'll reduce that to 2 or 3 times a week right now. For one thing, there's only so much energy expenditure I have in a week, and there's only so much time I have in a week, so I kind of have to make those sacrifices. But I think 2 to 3 times a week is going to maintain my conditioning level to where it needs to be to train for throwing. But the final piece of the puzzle is that I need to throw more. My throwing volume has to go way up. I have some deficits in weight for distance and weight over bar that I have to make up, so that's going to require throwing training.